Hello and welcome to Two Therapists and a Microphone. I am Dr. Harrison Davis.
And I'm Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
Two Therapists and a Microphone is a show about mental health, relationships, and social issues that personally affect you. We broadcast live every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the Our Black Media Network.
Harrison and I are two licensed psychotherapists with decades of clinical experience, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the situations or dilemmas that you're going through. We want to hear just about what you questions you want to ask about mental health. You can send us your questions by visiting our webpage at www.2therapists, spell out two.com, and click on Ask Two Therapists at the top of the page.
Absolutely. And Aisha, we actually got an email
Oh, I
from
love
a
emails.
viewer. So yeah, that's our second one. Let's keep those things coming in. Today, the topic is wellness topics. We changed the title from hot topics to wellness topics. As Dr. Aisha and I, we're going to choose a topic that we believe is significant for something that's going on right then and there and talk about it from a wellness perspective. So we both bring a topic without notifying the other individual. But Aisha, would you like for me to first? I'm gonna give you the option. You want to go on your topic first, or should I read the email that we got? It's a juicy one.
I want to read the email because I don't want to run out of time for the email.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because this might actually take up the entire show, and it can be our hot topic. All right, so it is a 26-year-old female. We asked that information on the webpage. I've been with my boyfriend for over a year, and he just proposed to me. I love him, and he is real good to me. We really have no problems. We live together, and he's about to graduate with his MBA. All right, go ahead, bro. Well, the problem is my ex-boyfriend from college.
Oh,
Now,
they always come around when it's like they feel in their spirits that you have something
it
good
gets worse.
going
It gets
on.
worse.
Oh,
When I went back to, I'm not going to say the college, HBCU, homecoming last October, I saw my ex and we talked and exchanged phone numbers. Well, we've been talking a lot since then. And
mm.
when he visited Atlanta last month, one thing led to another and we hooked up. I like being with him. I miss him. My GF girlfriend tells me to forget about him because he cheated on me in college, and that's the reason we broke up. He got another girl pregnant, so he's a father. He knows, oh, I'm sorry, he's known to be a liar, and I think he's lying to me. Something is drawing me to him. I can't stop thinking about him and what we had together. I have a fiance who is not doing anything wrong. Should I keep seeing my ex or should I marry my fiance? Did you get
Mm.
all that?
I got all of that.
So, so
Well, because see,
26.
I see where she's coming from, and this can happen a lot at 26, where you're kind of in the middle of finding some success in your life. You're done with college, you're finally starting a career,
Feeling like an
and
adult.
well, yeah, because your prefrontal cortex, y'all hear me say this all the time, your prefrontal cortex is fully developed at this point. You're a lot more stable, but also at 26, you're still fine. So I know that people in their mid to later 30s think a lot more about stability, whereas at 26, you're still probably having a lot of lustful feelings. And on one hand, we can say that your ex boyfriend made a mistake when you all were in college, that you were both immature and maybe he's a better person. But on the other hand, what I heard Harrison read in the email was that you're getting a feeling that he's still lying to you, that he's
Mm,
still the same lying manipulative person
yeah.
that he was back in the day.
Mm. Just a few years ago,
Well,
So,
and see,
uh,
I didn't even think about that. You're 26, so it wasn't really that long ago
yep,
that you
yep.
were in college.
And so the part, all of that, yeah. So some confusing feelings about an ex who cheated on you, got another girl pregnant. That's what you said, and that's the reason why you two broke up. There's a reason people break up, and we need to pay attention to it, even several years later. But the part that I'm stuck on, in addition to what you just said, Aisha, is that she has a boyfriend who just proposed to her, and she said there we really have no problems. I see that in here, and he's about to graduate with his MBA. Why are you messing that up? why why are you sabotaging that particular relationship? You know, that's the topic I think for tonight. We can help out this young lady who I believe is a sister. She went to a HBCU, who happens to have a large homecoming celebration every fall. You know, why mess up when something's good, or is it good? You
So
know,
so that's my question, because I want to say, this is a good man, maybe that's your fiance, and that you don't want to mess up a good thing. But I do also think that there are a lot of women who settle for something that's not really in their heart because everyone else is telling you, oh, this guy, he got a job, this man got all these degrees, and you should just like him because almost could you do better?
yeah, because it seems like the commitment to the current boyfriend isn't very strong. You know, when things are going well, it looks like it was good, and nothing bad, except when old boy shows back up. It's like you realize how fragile that relationship is. Because I do wonder, just like you said, Aisha, is she really in love with him? She says it. I love him, and he is real good to me. Is that the reason she loves him? Is that the reason you love him?
Well, so Harrison, are you saying that you can't love someone and still lust over someone else?
Mm, that's a recipe for some regret,
Okay.
is what that sounds like. And I do recognize she is 26, and perhaps if I was talking to her, we can discuss her maturity level and what she's hoping to get out of this situation with her ex, and how she's really putting at risk something that might actually be good for her. It's all about risk,
hmm
you know.
Well, there are a lot of risks here, and it sounds as if she may have already put herself at risk for a lot of. I mean, just so many things are going through my mind. Are you practicing safe sex when you sleep with this man who cheated on you and is possibly sleeping with other women? Because I heard you feel like he's lying now, but what is he lying about? Is he living with another woman? What do you do for a living now? Is he just trying to get some financial support from you? Are you being used for something other than your body right now? And
Yeah.
are these feelings with the ex-boyfriend feelings that are going to dissipate eventually as well?
So my question, and it'd be great if we have some viewers chime in, and Aisha, you can help me out with this.
hmm
Why would a woman go back to something that hurt her? Regardless of the situation with the current fiance and the boyfriend, why would you go back to misery? Why do women do that? No, I'm sorry. Why do people do that? Let me
I was like,
reframe
come
that.
on, Harrison,
I'm
because I
sorry.
know plenty of men who
Yeah,
do the
I changed
same
it. I
thing. They just
changed it.
don't
But
want to be saved.
what are your thoughts about it? What is it that he has that's drawing you? Something is drawing me to him.
Okay. So, Harrison, you weren't here for this episode, but the episode with Cheryl where we talked about
Sex.
men, right? So many men who think they are doing the thing and have no idea what they're doing.
Okay.
And so I wonder if, this ex-boyfriend got to know her body so well that he makes her feel physically better than this fiance makes her feel.
I was assuming that. So his sex is good, is
Yes,
what it sounds like.
because there are a lot of funny memes and videos about this. Good sex to have you moving the man in and driving to his mama's house to pick him up and all of that. But you got this other good man over here, and I have had clients who've dealt with this,
Hmm.
who are housewives, and they have wonderful homes and great families, but this I don't want to say thug, but I'll say like guy who has the thug appeal and
Okay.
has made them feel good sexually, they just keep going back to that and feel regret because I don't dislike my husband and he does his best to
Yep.
make me feel good and he follows directions when I give him directions, but thug life over here, I don't even have to give directions to.
Mm. So why not be with a thug? That's the question I posed to a client years ago. Why not be with that guy?
Because he doesn't have an MBA and can afford a 5 bedroom home in a nice safe suburb.
Okay, okay, so I get that because that sounds a little bit like what my client how she responded. He can't give her the lifestyle that she wants, but he gives her the other thing that she likes. That's the great
Mhm,
sex.
mhm.
So, is the person in this letter and other individuals like that, are they greedy? Are they selfish? Do they want it all because they don't have everything with this one guy who seems like a cool guy, responsible, take care of you, but it may not be exciting in the bedroom? Or this thug guy who's a little bit rough, but he gives you what you need in the bedroom and you trying to have both. Isn't that selfish?
I would say it is not selfish, but
Greedy?
no, Harrison, not greedy, but it is.
I can't believe it. I have
I can't
stumped
come.
Asia.
It's. I know. There's a word, and it's like on the tip of my tongue because it's like what Jada Pickett does. You're just hoping for more and believing that you can move everyone to their perfect place where you can be your
Controlling?
happiest. These are such negative words that you're choosing, Harrison. And the word that won't come to my tongue
Did
is
you hear
not
the letter?
a negative, not
But
a negative.
you don't believe she's being selfish and
I
wanting
believe
the both of best worlds as opposed to working
that's
with
what it
the
is. She does want the best of both worlds, but I believe that it can be difficult to explain to guy who's got 85% of what you need how he can get the other 15%,
yeah.
because I do know from experience that a lot of guys don't want to hear what they're doing wrong. They don't even want to hear that,
I hear
your
that.
shoes are ugly and I would love to go shopping with you to find some better shoes that don't look like they belong on an 85-year-old man's feet. No, I
Yeah.
mean, that's no man wants to hear that. They don't
Yeah.
want feedback. If you were to tell them that the sex is bad, they would say,
Yep.
well, no other woman has ever
Yep.
complained.
Yep. I had a grown man crying in my office one time when his wife was critiquing his sexual performance. He cried,
How do you
so
work with that? It's like it's good that your wife is willing to
so the
tell you
one
that.
dude who has 85%, but the other one only has 15. That's the part I'm struggling with right here. You're gonna mess up possibly the 85% dude who's doing sounds like some great things to be with a dude who can only give you 15%. And that lasts what 8 to 15 minutes, if that,
Well, she
sometimes
may
less.
have the idea that 15% guy can get up to 92%.
Wishful thinking.
She's she could
Remember, he has a
and
track record.
but see, this happens a lot in people's 20s. I'll say, especially women's 20s, where they are willing to settle for
I see.
potential, looking at his potential. So he's clean cut, and yeah, he got a baby mama, and but I could be that stepmother he needs because I won't be trying to raise that child. Me and this baby's mama have a great relationship, and
Mm,
he just might need my motivation to go back to school and get an MBA too. In fact, I'll find him one of those executive MBAs, so he'll be finished in a year, and I'll
yeah.
help him write
Yeah.
his papers
Yep, I've
and
seen that.
all of that.
I have seen that. So what I would ask you, young lady, are you willing to put in that work for this guy who cheated on you and has a baby to get him to the point where he can offer you more than 15%? Are you willing to put in that work and change your world around for a gamble? That's the question.
Mhm.
Whereas you have this guy who has about 80, 85%. Can you work with them? To raise it, because I think that 80, 85% is a good number. But the question I would have for her, are you willing to put in that work and lose that 85% guy?
Well, because ultimately, if you, viewer who sent the email, if you continue on this track, you will lose that 85%. And I can tell you,
You
because
will.
I've made enough mistakes in my life for any woman in their 20s. 15% guy is not worth it. He's not going to be what you think he's going to be, and the grass is definitely not greener on the other side. There are some things that you don't get to learn about people until you've lived with them for a while, until you've seen them when they're up and you've seen them when they're down. If you want to know how someone's going to function in a committed relationship, see how they interact or how they deal with real stress,
Yeah.
and how they deal with grief, or how they deal with disappointment. The
Mm-hmm.
guy you have fun with all the time, you probably haven't really seen him deal with real disappointment. You haven't seen him at his worst. You may have seen him when things were bad, but you probably haven't seen him at his worst. So don't throw away years for to go back. I mean, you may have had years with the ex-boyfriend too, but don't throw away good years for old years, because I want to say
Yeah.
those old years were bad for the
I
potential of old years.
I agree with that. And to use a term that a client coined years ago, she called that guy the ex, the fun dick guy. Is what she
And see,
called him.
that makes that I believe is an appropriate term, because that's exactly what this sounds like.
And this young lady, I want you to think about how much priority you putting on the fun dick guy,
Mhm.
and what he's offering you, and the gamble that you're taking. Now, if you want to be with him, go be with him. But you got to realize what you're giving up, because that may be, you know what, I'm thinking that may be good for her. That may be what she wants. That may be the type of guy that she finds very attractive. Go along with your theory, Aisha, about settling for this safe guy. I don't know what a term to use. A
That's a good
guy,
word. That's exactly what it is. Safe guy.
and because it sounds like that commitment level isn't very strong. So if you're
Hmm.
not meant to be with him, you need to let him go so he can find somebody who appreciates what he's offering you. But if you want to be with the guy who cheated on you and got a girl pregnant, and you haven't seen him, since college. She's 26, maybe 4 or 5 years, and y'all found each other at the homecoming
Well,
game.
because the devil put him right there in your face.
I was thinking the same
You know,
thing.
the devil's like, "Oh, you about to get married to this good man? Let me just drop you somebody in there to mess that all up,
And
cause
where
some
was your
confusion."
fiance when you were at the homecoming game? That's was he studying, trying to get that MBA? And what was the ex doing? Out there hitting on girls, I'm imagining, and maybe he found you. But of course, the point I was trying to make, if that's who you want to be with, then you should go ahead and make that happen. Why play two dudes?
Well, so I'm going so I'm going to play. I'm going to say don't do that. One thing we talk about here on what's the name of our show, Harrison?
Two therapists and a
Two therapists
microphone.
and a microphone is different therapies that you can look into. And what I want to say is consider, even though you're 26, a sex therapist. If you don't feel comfortable telling your fiance the issues that you're having, then go to somebody who can talk through it with you all. And Geneva says on here, familiar guy. Yes, you don't want to go back to, well, Geneva, when you say familiar guy, I'm not sure if you're talking about the ex or as Harrison said, funded guy.
I
But
think that's what she's talking about. She's
so
familiar with them, and she was in college. This is, I'm assuming,
mhm,
and had what she thought was a great relationship. He's familiar to her, and she had a
mhm.
certain. She just said, "Yep." Yeah, Geneva just said, "Yep, yep."
So yeah, do not go back to what's familiar. You can't grow in a position where you're stagnant and nothing's
Yeah.
changing and you're not learning and you're not being stretched. Or maybe you don't want to grow anymore. If that's the case, then give up on fiance. I can just about guarantee you, fun dick guy won't be trying to put a ring on your finger
Yeah.
anytime soon, or not a real ring, or not something that's not a cluster. But stick with the fiance and block fun dick guy. Tell him it was fun, Thank you. I mean, I'm just trying to teach you how to protect yourself because you
Okay.
might feel like you want to go back. So say bye and block. If you need to change your number, do what you need to do to put up a shield if maybe you're feeling like you can't control yourself because he got you digmatized,
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like.
yeah. I agree with you. And what I can add to that, really think about because it sounds like you may be regressing just a
Hmm.
little bit. Going back to something familiar, but what the viewer said, the fun dick guy, he's showing you a good time. He may have a little swag, but there's a track record there, almost like a college transcript. And you can take a look at it and see what he's offering, what type of potential he has. But if the fun dick guy is what you want and you can deal with that, I'm only encouraging you to make a choice, about which direction to go into. Because as I think about it, um, I have some clients, some black females, women who would possibly cut off a finger to be with a guy like you described with your fiance.
It's
Um,
just if he dresses nice and he's willing to try and he speaks good English because I'm all about good conversation.
but
Then
all I'm thinking about, she said, what is that? I love him and he is real good to me. We really have no problems. So why are you
the
introducing
end.
problems?
The
What, what,
Well, she didn't
why?
do it. The devil introduced those problems. Don't let
Why
the
are you?
devil introduce these problems into your
So,
life,
so, so
young
with that,
lady.
there's some forces in our universe. I'll talk about this with some of my clients. I get a little bit more spiritual as I get older. There's some forces out there. Some are good, some are not. And I'm just wondering, like Dr. Aisha just mentioned, who sent that guy in your path back at the homecoming game, while your fiance back at home handling business. Here's the fun dick guy showing up, swinging his thing at you, his smile, and next thing you know, you're
And
mesmerized.
some thirsty gray sweatpants the next
So,
time you see him.
and I would ask you, make a decision that you will not regret in 5 years. You're
Mm,
26. In 4 years, you're going to be 30 years old. And perhaps you're
okay.
not ready for marriage now. Perhaps that relationship with the fiance isn't as serious as you thought it was in your head. Perhaps you want a little bit more casual relationship. You can think about redefining that relationship with the boyfriend. But I just want you to think about your life course and how it's going to change drastically if you mess up the thing with the fiance because of fun dick guy. Make a choice. I think the problem I'm having is that she's playing both of them.
And that's was one other thing I was thinking about was please don't break this good guy and turn him into a bad guy for the
That's
next
exactly what
woman.
happens. So I don't want you to prioritize the sex, the fun time with a fun dick guy over someone who can offer you stability and mobility in the lifestyle that I believe you might want. But if the love ain't there and you're not excited, you got two things to do. Like Dr. Aisha said, try to work on it, tell him, talk to him, go to a sex therapist together, or leave him.
Yeah.
It just sounds like I'm stretching here. You may be wanting to recapture what you had in college. You may want that feeling back, walking around the yard, with your boyfriend and everybody likes you. That super couple that's on
Right.
every college campus, and she may have liked that.
Well,
But
that was back before you were paying your own bills, though.
that's
You
right.
just probably a little more carefree for reasons that you
Still a
just don't have
kid.
today.
Still a kid, 18 to 22. Now you're 26 and you've grown. So I want you to really think about the decisions that you're making. And I don't want you to have any regrets with it. So that's my say with it. Make
Mm.
a choice on what you're gonna do because I think she's being greedy. Now, Aisha, wouldn't you say that if it was reversed, if this was a dude who wrote this letter?
Well, especially in the Atlanta metropolitan area,
Wouldn't you
because
say the same thing if it was a guy? And he has a fiance girlfriend and she's holding him down and she's good, she's a good girl, and then he finds the girl back at college who he used to hook up with.
well, so maybe that's why I'm giving her a pass here. Is because guys do it so much. Maybe that's my bias.
Yeah, because I saw you were not going strong on this one. You know,
Are you saying you hear me talking bad about the men so much?
no.
That,
I'm not
not coming
disputing
up?
any of that.
Okay.
It's just she's doing the same thing that a lot of dudes do.
She just
And we, and
leveling
we,
the
and we,
playing
and we
field a little bit.
yeah, and we're using soft gloves with her.
Hmm.
But I truly believe you're on the cusp of making a mistake.
Well, I
That
100% agree with that.
yeah,
Don't go with the ex. Break that off, block them, or change your number. I hope there's no proof of you all's indiscretions because I would hate for that to be found later on and ruin a perfectly good relationship that you have, where it sounds like you do love this man and you can work on whatever, if any problems there are, because you told us you have no problems.
yeah, that's exactly what she said. And I would say exercise your decision making skills and make a decision. If you want to be with old boy, happy dick guy, fun dick guy, go back and do that. Or if you want to stay with the fiance who seems to be a good dude, make that decision. So those are our final thoughts. Anything else you want to add to that, Aisha?
Yes, young lady, your homework for tonight, your therapeutic homework, is to make a pros and cons list about each of them. And it's because, I mean, we ultimately can make the decision for you, but just write it down on paper and see if maybe there are more pros with X. Probably won't be, but just so you can see it, make a list and then burn it so that nobody knows that you actually needed to that you were trying to make a decision in the first place. But I want you to see the differences between the two when you put them right up against each other.
Gotcha. That's a very good homework assignment. So, guys, this is the end of today's show. You have been watching Two Therapists and a Microphone. I am Dr. Harrison Davis.
And I'm Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
So check us out every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. We broadcast live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter now. And check out our website at twotherapists.com. Send us some more of your questions. I really like this one. I hope we help you out, and you feel good about what you learned from us today. But we will see the rest of you guys next week. Have a good one.
Like this.